right now we want to talk about personality and awareness. So, following up on Sunday's meeting, the word personality is starting to cause a problem. There were good reasons to use the word personality in the beginning. Let's talk about those good reasons. When what we have been calling personality, which is the distorted filter through which your uniqueness has been experiencing earth life, right? Your uniqueness, which is you, your body, your experiences, your interests, your earth life, and all of your soul's experiences, right? That combines to create what we call your uniqueness. You're distinct from every other being in the universe. Okay? That's your uniqueness. Your uniqueness comes onto planet Earth. And there's all kinds of things that need to be adjusted in order to keep you on planet Earth so that you can have the incarnational cycle that you desire to have. So you can experience density and duality. So that you can experience what it's like to live in an amnesic state to your soul's epicness. And one of those things is what we ended up calling personality. Personality, that filter that distorted your experience of your uniqueness, was necessary in order to allow for things like the amnesia of your soul state, things like mitigating the way that the intensity of density and duality affected you. So you come as a soul, you land on Earth without personality. You're like, no freaking way, and you get out because it's a huge difference. So on some levels, what we have been calling personality, the filter, was put in place to help you maintain your willingness to stay on Earth, maintain your ability to navigate this world. Now we have an example of this, right? You watch when we have visitors and they come into the body and they're like, boing, 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 like they don't even know how to deal, right? Half the time they're like, ooka, 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 for like the whole meeting, you know, and barely can get a word or two out. So that's not far from what you would have experienced without some mitigation. That mitigation ends up being something like, we'll just call it personality for now. It becomes this filter. Okay, you're 400, 500 lifetimes into this now. You don't need that filter anymore. You're at a point where you can say, I can be on planet Earth without that filter. Thus, we are on the journey we are on together. However, that filter had become so embedded into your experience that it coded everything. And when people say, I don't want to surrender personality because that would mean surrendering who I am, they're not lying. That is the perception they have, that filter is actually who they are. But that's an inaccurate perception. That's why personality was a good word for it in the beginning, because like, hey, your personality is holding you back. But people interpret the word personality to mean exclusively their identity, not a overlay, a filter through which they're experiencing their identity. So, as we start taking out the filter of personality, your uniqueness begins to experience what it's like to be unfettered. And that's what we call abiding in awareness. An unfettered experience of physicality, in density and duality, still with tons and tons of amnesia, but no more filter on that. Another way to think about it is some of these cars are set with a governor. So if you go like 120 miles an hour, the car cuts out. You can't go faster than that. Even though the car is capable of going faster than that, the thing makes it not go faster than that. That's another good example of this. right? Personality becomes like a governor where it says, sure, your car can do 180. No one should be doing 180. So if you get to 120, the gas stops going or whatever. We don't know how it works. We just know it's a thing, right? So that's an easy example. And you can say, well, if you were a guy or a girl who could get underneath the hood and take that off, then you could go 180 because you wouldn't have a governor anymore. Personality has been a governor. And yes, you needed it. Just like you don't have instantaneous manifestation because it wouldn't take long for the whole planet to blow up because everybody has such undisciplined thoughts about such undisciplined thoughts about everything, right? Just like your body doesn't listen to you immediately because so many people have undisciplined thoughts about, oh God, I hate my hair, I wish it all fall out. All your hair falls out, right? The body doesn't listen to you immediately because if it did with undisciplined thoughts, you have a problem. Another kind of filter. That's another kind of filter. So all of this filtering is basically kind of like child safety locks, right? It's like, we really don't want you getting into the cabinet where they keep all the poisons and supplies for bleach and all that, and cleaning the sink out. Like, you cannot go in that cupboard until you're old enough to be trusted not to guzzle that stuff. It's a filter. It's a filter. But you are all spiritual grown-ups, and so you don't need a filter. You don't need a filter. And we are here to liberate you from the filter.